Global wheat prices are rolling low at around $5 a bushel or $184 or rupees 16,150 a ton in the global market. The prospects are bearish for wheat, but Indian consumers are unlikely to benefit from this. Globally, wheat prices are poised to be bearish, with forecasts pegging the production at a record high of 815 million tons. Estimates peg a higher crop in the US, Australia, the European Union, Canada, Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. Money managers too are bearish, as market participants have been holding net short positions throughout 2024 and 2025 in the year to date. This comes at a time when Indian growers are set to plant the main Rabi cereal, wheat, from this month. Research agency BMI, a unit of Fitch Solutions, has lowered its wheat price forecast for 2025 from $5.68 a bushel to $5.46. This is due to improved expectations for harvest in the largest producing markets. ICC listed soft red winter second month futures have declined by 12% year-on-year and 5% lower than the first closing price of 2025. The U.S. Department of Agriculture (USDA) says global wheat production in 2025-26 is forecast higher at a record 816.2 million tons. BMI said the latest reading from September 16 pointed to a net short position of 85,825, slightly lower than the 2025 average of 87,591. However, it says a reading of the situation indicates continued expectations for muted prices. However, continued net short market position increases the risk of short covering and short-term upward price movements, says BMI. The International Grains Council says total grains production is forecast to rise by 87 million tons in the 2025-26 season, July to June, to a record high of 2,412 million tons. Production of all crops except rye is projected to be higher. Uptake is also predicted to climb to a fresh record, up by 50 million tons to 2,395 million tons, including gains for food, feed, and industrial uses. World stock of grains are projected to expand by 17 million tons to 606 million tons. Trade in grains is expected to reach 438 million tons, up by 15 million tons year-on-year and potentially the second highest on record, says IGC. BMI says supply-side factors are the main catalyst for the downward pressure on prices, with market sentiment driven by improved harvest outlooks in various countries. It says production will likely increase to over 815 million tons, but consumption may be 800 million tons only. This will result in a continued market surplus, which explains subdued prices compared to levels seen during the periods of tighter market conditions. Compared to these developments, the Indian government has increased the minimum support price of wheat this crop year to 2,585 rupees a quintal. This will mean Indian consumers won't benefit from the lower global prices. Officials of the Roller Flour Millers Federation of India say the price of wheat at the factory gate, particularly in South India, will be above rupees 3,000 a quintal. Import is not an option as it attracts 40% customs duty. Therefore, consumers have to pay a price higher than global rates for their wheat to make their chapatis or rotis or any other wheat product. Not a happy situation though, but be happy, keep smiling. This is Subramani Mancombu signing off until we meet in our next episode. Bye and good luck.